Hi, welcome to yet another episode of A Story for Your Query. Today, I shall talk about examinations and how parents can help their children. Examination time is a stressful time, not just for students, but for the parents and guardians too. There will be restrictions on watching TV, loud music being played, socializing, and such at the examination time. So, what is so different about the examination? Why should there be a shift in the normalcy? Aha! In India, examinations are mark oriented. If one gets 80 upon 100 after the examination, a post mortem will be conducted to see where and how the 20 marks were lost. The child cannot go down to play till this process is completed. The next stage would be to aim for 90 upon 100 and finally 100 upon 100. This is what the parents refer to as aiming high. At this point, I sometimes wonder if the parent would want their kids to get 110 out of 100. How does this process work? Let us look at an example. Charlie goes to school at 8 a.m. and returns by 3:30 p.m. Has a bite to eat and goes for tuitions. Comes back and maybe get about 30 minutes of free time and then sits down to do homework. As he goes higher, in the higher classes, he would go to the coaching classes. This parallel system of education has spread its roots like the network of the sequoia tree. What has happened with all this? The child has been moving from class to class, gathering information, but has had no time to assimilate, internalize, and apply the knowledge. Consequently, the students will resort to rote learning. Quota and the coaching shops are a classic example of the competitive edge that our parents and the children have. Quota's economy has for years now been totally dependent on a large number of coaching centers preparing students for IIT JEE and NEET entrance examinations. Every year, an estimated 1.65 to 1.75 lakh students come to Quota from across the country, mostly from North India, to enroll for IIT JEE and NEET medical examination preparatory coaching. So, the examinations and the results are crucial to most parents and to a few students. This examination fever has become the bane of our society. So much so, the PM of our country has an interactive session with the students to reduce their stresses and strains before the examinations. This show is called Pariksha Pe Charcha. Let me share with you a social experiment that was conducted on parents and their children. On the day of the examinations, parents of one division were asked to come to school. The parents came in with their wards and bid them best of luck. Let me share some of the comments made by the parents. Don't leave any question unanswered. Read everything properly. Don't make silly mistakes. Ace the paper. My little sunshine will come first this time also. Okay? And so on. The parents now moved to the classroom where they were expected to meet the teachers. They were in for a big surprise. The teacher handed over to them the paper that their children were solving and asked them to solve it. How can we do that? I studied so many years ago. I didn't do history in school. What is all this nonsense? Parents continued to grumble, but the teacher was firm. Finally, the parents reconciled and solved the paper. It didn't end here. Teachers corrected the papers and called a meeting of the parents and their wards together and shared the scores of the parent and the child. The child had apparently done better than the parent, but the change worth seeing was not in the marks, but in their reactions. Parents, for the first time, told their kids, I know what you go through. I'm happy with the marks that you have got. A change in perspective, understanding, empathy. This is what is needed, don't you think? Let's spend a little time on what else the parents can do to help their children with the examinations. How can parents help their children in staying stress-free during board exams? First of all, parents need to de-stress themselves. Try to stay calm. Do not project your stress and anxiety onto the child and compound the stress level of your child. Plan ahead with your child. Sit with your child. Prepare a planner according to the examination schedule. Revisit the planner and update it as and when necessary. Help your child to divide the time between all subjects he or she is preparing for and allot time according to her level of preparation or his level of preparation required for a particular subject. Keep away from digital distractions. This is very, very critical. Mobile phone is a digital device that is extremely difficult to stay away from. If your child is addicted to mobile games, then you will have a tough time dealing with your children. Create a suitable study environment. Provide your child with enough space to study. Make sure the study area is properly ventilated and well lit. Set up a learning space for your child which is free from distractions and equipped with the required school supplies like pencils, erasers, rulers, and books. Also, ensure that the height of the study table is according to the height of the child and make sure that the chair is comfortable with a straight back. If your child enjoys doing his math, listening to music, permit it. Be a support system. Don't try to be a helicopter parent. Peeping in every now and then to check on what the child is doing is not going to get any acceptance from your child. Make sure to be around, particularly for the important papers. Speak of only positive outcomes. Don't compare the child with anybody else. Make sure that they get enough sleep. A good night's sleep is very important. This can calm nerves and keep him or her alert for the big day. Good sleep will increase memory and lowers the stress level. Make sure that your child is getting at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. Provide protein-rich, nutritious food for the child. Low nutrition levels can cause sluggishness and reduced concentration. Make sure to avoid junk food as it can lead to sleepiness and lethargy. Keep your child hydrated. Accept limitations. Every child is different. You have to trust your child's abilities and set realistic expectations. Provide a relaxation time. A child who is studying 17 hours a day may not do well in examinations due to overload, so make an effort to provide some relaxation from studies. Don't project your ambitions onto your child. For instance, I want to be an engineer, so I couldn't become one, so you have to be an engineer. Totally wrong approach. Finally, try to pay your role to perfection. Develop a positive attitude. Any questions that you have may be addressed to your query, mystory@gmail.com. Typing a query is a boring job. You don't like to do that? Well, you can send in a voice message. That should be easy. That's all for today. I'll see you next week.